Levon Cade wakes up in his car before leaving for work in the first scene of the film. He shows there at Garcia's building site. He is offered some food by one of his coworkers. After giving the employees a rundown of the day's work, he goes to the office to see the Garcias. Joe Garcia's daughter Jenny gives him some billing documents inside. Then, in an attempt to celebrate the event, she asks her father for a sizable number of money to finish a semester. After some hesitation, Joe finally caves in and gives her the money. Levon witnesses a bunch of mafia guys intimidating one of the workers. He intervenes without hesitation, quickly removing them and making them flee. After seeing the incident, Jenny goes up to Levon and inquires about his military experience. Levon tells her not to bring up the question with anyone. Jenny, who was previously taught how to break a finger by her grandfather, is intrigued and wants him to teach her how to fight. Then she gives him some food and walks away. Levon later pays his daughter Mary a visit at her grandparents' home. Mary sees him when he gets there and jumps excitedly into his car. Levon pauses to talk to his father-in-law, who is in charge of Mary's custody. Since Levon now lives in his truck, the court determined that it is unfit for raising a child. It turns out that Levon lost custody following his wife's terrible demise. He is hence only permitted to visit for 2 hours each week. After that, Levon offers Mary a unique gift, a photo of her and her late mother at their supper together. When Mary sees the picture, she struggles to accept the loss and expresses her grief and rage at her mother leaving them. Later, Levon goes to see his attorney about his daughter's custody dispute. The attorney tells him that things are becoming worse and inquires as to why his father-in-law is so hostile toward him. Levon clarifies that his father-in-law holds him accountable for his wife's passing. In fact, she had been struggling with depression during his military service. Levon is committed to fighting for his daughter in spite of the obstacles, and he gives the money he has saved to carry on the legal battle. For her daughter's happiness, he even leases a place. Jenny and her pals get together at a clubhouse that evening to party and have a good time. After noticing her, one of the bartenders tells Viper, a mafia member, about her. After a little while, one of her companions starts feeling ill and quickly heads to the restroom. Jenny is left alone when she is unexpectedly assaulted by a gang of kidnappers who quickly remove her. Levon observes police officers leaving Joe's workplace the following day at work. In a panic, Joe and his spouse go up to Levon and tell him that Jenny has gone missing. They beg him for assistance, but he declines, claiming to have moved on from his past. Even after Joe gives him $50,000, Leon is adamant about his choice and declines the job. Yet he accepts the $50,000 and goes to his friend's house. That night, Levon pays a visit to Gunny, a friend from his military days. He informs Gunny of Jenny's departure and declares his intention to accept this position. It is revealed that Gunny once lost his sight after Levon protected him from an accident. The significance of this to the family is then explained by Gunny. Levon, who is determined to find Jenny, goes to see Joe and promises to bring his daughter back. He starts researching the pub where she was last spotted that night. He finds a fragment of Jenny's necklace while looking in a nearby alley, proving that she was taken from there. Levon follows a lead, finds one of the bar employees, and confronts him at his house. The bartender claims he doesn't know anything about Jenny's disappearance when he questions him about it. Levon puts pressure on him after seeing the deception, making him provide names. The bartender is ready to speak when a few of his colleagues show up. Levon quickly dispatches everyone in the room after realizing the threat. He confirms their mafia affiliation after searching the bodies. He takes some money before he leaves with the intention of using it to buy information from other gang members. When Wolo and several gang members arrive at the residence the following day, they witness the carnage from the previous evening. They quickly tidy up the area and depart, not realizing that Levon is pursuing them, realizing that they are being targeted. Levon carefully surveys the area before attacking, tracking them back to a safe house. After breaking into the building, he swiftly subdues and ties up a man named Wolo. Wolo tells Leavon that he's making a grave error as soon as he comes to. Unfazed, Leavon throws the cash he had stolen earlier on the table and requests to know Jenny's location. Leavon straps Wolo to a chair and throws him into the water when he won't speak, instantly murdering him. Levon's inquiry reveals that Wolo's son, Demi, is the one responsible for the kidnapping. He doesn't waste any time in trying to locate him. Another senior member of the gang, Yuri, shows up at the safe home a little later. Upon witnessing Wolo's death and recognizing that Dimi is not like Wolo, he gives his soldiers orders to find the culprit. Levon calls a police buddy to get information about a man named Dimi. He is cautioned by his pal that Dimi is a mafia leader and a very dangerous person. He then gives Levon the address of a bar that has a reputation for being connected to organized crime. Levon goes out to the bar that evening. As soon as one of the guards spots him, Dougie walks up to him and sees how wealthy he is. He leads him to Dutch, a man. The customers become furious and assault Levon right away since they believe he is an undercover police officer. Levon eliminates everyone in his path with lightning speed. He is ready to murder one of them when Dutch steps in, recognizes that he was a soldier, and offers to engage in dialogue. Levon complies, asks for drugs, and Dutch agrees to set up a transaction. Dutch arranges a meeting between Levon and the mafia's principal dealer the following day and delivers the promised goods. Levon encounters Dimi later. Before closing the sale, Dimi examines Levon to make sure he isn't a fraudster. He gives the pills to the person who persuades him. Uninterested in the deal, Levon throws them out right away. He notices Viper, a gang member who was among the individuals there when Jenny was abducted, while he is at the pub. Levon leaves after making this discovery and starts snooping on the gang's operations. But when one of the security officers sees Levon observing them, he subtly asks for help. Levon attempts to flee on a motorcycle after realizing that danger is imminent, but Yuri's men catch him after a fierce pursuit. Levon takes advantage of the fact that they are transporting him in a van by killing both of his captors, taking over the vehicle, and pushing it into the ocean to obliterate any evidence before fleeing. In the meanwhile, when Yuri finds his men dead, he becomes furious. He brings the whole mafia together to face Dimi after realizing that someone is actively pursuing them. Simultaneously, Dimi confronts one of his gang members after realizing that the arrangement has fallen through. Before he can take anything, Yuri shows up and tells him that Levon killed his father and that Dimi is probably his next victim. Levon discovers that his father-in-law is in danger the following day while he is picking up his daughter from school and feels uneasy. He immediately runs to see how he's doing. He discovers the house on fire when he gets there. Levon rushes into the flaming structure and saves his father-in-law without any delay. He brings his daughter to Gunny's house for protection after realizing that she might possibly be a target. He armed himself and gets ready for the fight after leaving her in Gunny's care. In the meantime, Viper and Artemis are keeping watch over Jenny as she is taken to a safe house. She takes advantage of the situation and flees into the streets. She frantically flags down a police car for assistance after spotting it, only to discover too late that the officer is a gang member. She is immediately brought back to Viper and Artemis by the dishonest police officer. Later, a wealthy client calls Viper and asks Jenny to stay the night. They accept the offer without question. Levon confronts Dimi at his hiding place and demands information. Dimi exposes the area where Jenny is being held and explains Viper's role. He is in charge of obtaining information on the ladies they kidnap, while negotiating his life in exchange for answers. Levon kills Dimi after obtaining the address and moves on to his next victim. Dutch, however, cautions the gang to be extremely vigilant after learning that Levon is the one breaking into their activities. As soon as Levon reaches the safe home, he immediately begins methodically eliminating everyone in his path, including Dutch. Jenny fights back and kills Artemis in the midst of the mayhem. Levon locates her and releases her a short while later. Two of the gang's surviving members ambush them and start shooting as they try to flee. Levon moves quickly, pulling the pin on a grenade and eliminating them all at once. After the danger has been removed, Levon and Jenny eventually make their way to safety. After Levon brings Jenny back to her parents, they express gratitude to him for saving their daughter. Levon, Mary, and Gunny's family ultimately find a moment of joy after the storm when they all eat a quiet lunch together in the last scene.